My name is Tanek127, and I'm a YouTuber, guys. In part of this YouTube journey, I have hours of editing, podcast preparation, live stream preparation, all kinds of hard work that is done here in the background. Outside of YouTube, I am a father, I am a competitive gamer, a casual gamer. I love playing first-person shooters competitively. I love raiding in MMOs. I love grinding in RPGs. I also love going to the gym and keeping my body healthy for my family. And I need a good supplement to do that. And that supplement is Glitch Energy. Glitch comes in all kinds of tasty flavors with energy supplements and also hydration formulas for those who don't want that caffeine kick. Visit glitchenergy.com today and use code TANEK127 to get yourself a discount on all things Glitch. Enjoy the video, guys. Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another Crystal of Atlan video. And guys, in today's video, I want to give you all my beginner's guide for Crystal of Atlan. I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible and just go over some really simple basics for those just starting out with the game. However, if you want to stay up to date with all things Crystal of Atlan, especially the console version, make sure you are liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's topic. Now, before we get into it, I do know that there are people having a hard time playing the PlayStation 5 version because of the boot up issue. Number one, I do have a guide that has helped out some people get into the game already, and it has been pretty successful. But the developers, they have made it very clear on Discord that they're investigating, finding a solution, and the whole player base is going to be compensated for the time that they've lost. So just so you guys know, just wanted to give you all a heads up on that. But let's go ahead and get into today's guide, and we're going to start everything right at the main menu because there's even some important things we need to go over with there. One thing y'all do want to keep in mind when it comes to Crystal of Atlan is PlayStation is separate from PC and mobile. So if you want to play with your friends on mobile or PC, you need to be playing on mobile or PC. Only play on PlayStation if you want to play strictly with PlayStation players. Now, speaking of servers, the game is split even on PlayStation into multiple servers. Now, I am playing on the North American version, so North American and Europe play on the same servers. When you first boot up the game, this will be the screen that you're given. Make sure before you even log in, you hit triangle and pick the server you want to go to. Alright, as you guys can see right here, America and Europe. On PlayStation 5 for America and Europe, we have Sighing Wind 1 and Sighing Wind 2. Make sure you and your friends pick your server before you boot that game up. One thing that's real crazy about this main menu screen right here is it's so bright in the center, you kind of miss that server login screen and you're just inclined to, to hit continue because you want to play. Let's go ahead and log in, and we're going to start with the character select screen because there are some things I feel like we need to go over. When you first see this screen, you're going to notice that it only looks like the game has 5 classes. And probably after seeing some of my videos and videos from other creators, you're probably like, Tanek, I could have sworn there was a lot more classes in this. Well, each main class is split into a couple subclasses. So, for example, if you pick the swordsman right here, you can go with the Magi Blade or the Berserker. If you pick the gun character, you can go with the Bounty Hunter or the Gunner. If you go with this mage right here, the Elementalist, the Warlock, and the Magician are all under that category. So this guy actually has 3 classes all under his category. If you pick the lovely little Reaper right here, the Puppeteer, she has the Scythe Guard and the Blade Maiden under her. And of course, if you go with the Fighter, she has the Cloud Striker and the Starbreaker both under her. So remember, all the classes, each class is split up into multi-classes, and I'm also going to explain how that works once we get into the game. So one thing I do want to remind you guys about Crystal of Atlan at the end of the day, this is a mobile game, alright? It's a mobile game at heart. Meaning there's an energy system, there's login bonuses, there's tons of events. There's a lot of things that will incline you to pay to, to keep playing. And there's also going to be a lot of things that incline you to log in every day and stuff like that. My main thing when it comes to these mobile games, take advantage of this stuff, because these games love handing out free goodies, and especially when they see that you haven't played for a while. They will give you loads and loads of stuff. So make sure, and I'm going to show you guys a little trick. L1 is one of your main hub hotbars. So when you hold that, you got access to the chat, to your inventory bag. Once again, the world chat. The crafting portion, and this is just on the L1 side, if you guys look at the bottom left of the screen. And of course, your quick slots for your potions and any other consumables you might want to bring into battle. If you hold down R1, it'll bring up this little settings wheel. This will help you access your quest lists, personal information about your character, limited events, the cash shop, the little battle pass like thingy, gameplay screen. This is basically like dungeons, adventures, co-op battles, and stuff like that. Benefits, and of course your little gacha summoning system for the outfits and all of that fun stuff. But my point is with this, make sure all these events and everything, these give all kinds of free goodies. And y'all know, if you've ever played a mobile game in your life, mobile games love these. Look, I even got a free goodie chilling right there. Let me grab that. Two fine circuit boxes. They are always giving away free stuff to keep you playing, help give you a little boost, so you don't get discouraged or something. Take advantage of this. Even if you don't feel like playing one day, log in every day and just collect these little stupid things. All right, it'll take you 5 minutes. Always take advantage of that. Long story short, when it comes to Crystal of Atlan as a beginner, once you have your class set up and everything like that, your goal is to get through the main campaign as quick as possible. And I'm going to show you guys, how this all works. So we're going to go ahead to the gameplay screen and we're going to click Adventures. If you look over here on the left side, you're going to see that there are 6 different areas. One is the Valley Ruins, one's the Under District, one is Wonderland, and the other 3 are locked because I haven't got to those yet, but the Colossal Woods, the Chrome Military Factory, and the Abyssal Purgatory. Each one is basically a chapter of the game. Valley Ruins is Chapter 1, Under District Chapter 2, Wonderland's Chapter 3, where I'm currently at, etc., etc., etc. You guys get the drill. Each and every one of these is basically a dungeon. You're going to walk around each area that you come into, like for example, this area I'm actually in right now. This is Rhine City, but Wonderland is where I'm supposed to be. But Rhine City is where I just wanted to come to do this guide for you guys. I'm going to do quests around Wonderland, and after a certain amount of quests, it's going to have me do one of those instance dungeons I was telling you guys about. All of these instance dungeons for the story campaign, they are single player. You just walk in, you do an instance. You kill some mobs, advance the area, kill some more mobs, advance the area, and there's a boss or 2 in the dungeon depending on, the story elements and what's going on currently in the game and stuff like that. Like this Carousel one right here, this one had 1 boss, but there was one in the Valley Ruins I did that had 2 bosses. It all depends on, what's going on in the game. But yeah, that's your goal right now. The current level cap of the game is 60 from what I can see. And you're going to level up pretty fast. Once you hit about level 15 or 16, you'll be given a quest that lets you pick your class. So when you first select your class, right, you're going to be given a basic version of it that doesn't apply to either of the 2 classes you want. Like for example, my Berserker right here. When I first started the game, he was just a typical swordsman. He just used a one-hand sword, had some moves, a little skill tree and stuff like that. And speaking of that, I'll show you guys the skill tree right here. And once I hit level 16, there was a small quest I had to do. The game will take you to that quest, and it gave me the choice to unlock the Magic Blade and the Berserker. Now, this is what I want to tell you guys. Once you unlock one of those classes, you're not stuck with that class just yet. So, say you unlocked a class at level 16. You have from level 16 to level 45 when you awaken your class to decide on which one you want. So my recommendation is play with both while you have the time. Mess with them both, see which one you're really enjoying out of the two classes, or if you're a mage, 3 classes out of the amount of classes you have to decide. Now, as you guys can see, because I'm only level 34 right now, it gives me free reign to pick from the Magic Blade and the Berserker. I can swap between the two anytime I want. But once I hit level 45 and I awaken, I'm going to be stuck as the one class I decide to awaken. So basically, you have from level 16 to 45 to decide on which class you ultimately want to be. Now, the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to Crystal of Atlan, we've talked about classes, we've talked about the skill tree and all that stuff. Let's talk about gear, okay? Because gear is always going to be your main bread and butter in every single MMO. So you guys know the deal here. This is your typical looter style, game. You're going to go into dungeons, a bunch of gear is going to drop. You hit square and you dismantle it. You get more parts, and guess what those parts can do? Can you guys guess? I'm going to give you one guess. You can either A, upgrade current gear, or B, see, you can enhance it with those parts that you get. You can upgrade current gear, like I was saying. Let's go ahead and enhance. And just like our lovely past game Terra, for those who have played Terra Online or Terra on console, the success rate goes down for these enhancements the higher your gear gets. So the stronger it gets, as you guys can see, now it has a 90% success rate. As I get it up and up, it's going to go down to 80 and 70 and stuff like that. And it's going to get really low. So y'all can guess what end game's probably gonna look like in this game, right? But yeah, you can enhance your gear pieces. They go all the way up, I believe, to plus 10. And then you can also craft new gear pieces. If you just hit triangle over here, it'll give you a whole tree of stuff you can craft all the way up to level 60 Epic 2. And that goes for weapons, helmets, breastplates, all the pieces you need. You can craft them. So chances are when you hit end game, you're going to be grinding for a lot of those materials and stuff like that. So next, let's talk about circuits. Now, long story short, for those who have played Diablo or if you've played Final Fantasy XIV, circuits are like your gems or your materia. You stick them in your weapons and armor, they're going to give you a little passive benefit. Like for example, I'll click this one right here, this Fine Radiant circuit. If I put it into my weapon, it's going to give me an attack plus 7. If I level it up to levels 2 and 4, it's going to give me some sub-attributes, like the normal Radiant circuit that I have equipped right now. It increases my M crit by plus 0.3, while also giving me an attack of plus 7. Now, circuits, gear, leveling, all of that stuff, it is all going to increase what is called your power level. Now, the interesting thing about this game is they show you 2 different sides of your character, which is really, really interesting. And actually 3. Nullification, we're going to go over that in the endgame guide because you don't deal with nullification until you hit endgame anyway. But you have your power level and you also have your gear rating. So your gear rating is basically your power level that's based strictly off of your gear, or your item level, you should say. So my item level right now is 3,132. My power level is based off of my character's overall stats totally. Not just my gear, but how many points I have put into my skills on my skill tree. How much my gear is upgraded, how much my character is leveled, how much of my stats I've increased. All of that good stuff goes into what your power rating is overall. So the more you do, the more your power is going to increase. And like I was telling you guys, with your skill tree and stuff like that, you're going to notice that some of these skills, this one here says 3 out of 15, 1 out of 15, and stuff like that. Your skills get upgraded. You simply upgrade them with skill points. How do you get skill points? You level up. You level up, and the more points you unlock. So as you're going through your skill tree, as you're trying some of these moves, get in your mind a build that you want to have. Moves that chain well together, moves that that benefit each other. Let's say there's a special sword slash you do, that buffs your attack for 10 seconds. Maybe, you want to level up that skill so that way, you use that as your opener, and all your other skills will have that buffed attack damage that you can use for 10 seconds, and try and use those skills within that 10 seconds so they do more damage on the boss, or or the mobs that you're fighting, or whatever the case may be. You also have a pet system in this game as well. You're going to unlock your pets somewhere, I believe, in the second world area, if I'm not mistaken. I don't exactly remember when I got Jackalope, but you get them part of the main quest line. Then of course there's gacha pets that drop in the pool system and stuff like that. We'll get into that in a whole nother video. But guess what? Your pet, leveling your pet and increasing their attributes, guess what? That also increases your overall power level. So your power level, like I said, is it's your big boy stat of the game. It's your contribution of basically everything that you're doing with your character. Like, even as you run through dungeons and clear areas, your power level overall increases. The final thing that I do want to talk about in here is there is a guild system, and this is pretty important because I think it'll be important for people to get involved with guilds sooner rather than later. And the reason I think that is because guilds also have a lot of activities that can also help get you things like gear, more rewards, and stuff like that. As you guys can see, I have a fleet now. Me and my buddy J Craze, we're in it by ourselves. We're gonna add more people, eventually, and stuff like that. But as you can see, they have different activities in here, that'll give you more rewards, different things, you can use to enhance your gear and stuff like that. And then, not to mention, it has their own dungeon system that you take on with your guild members as well. But yeah, guys, like I said, your basic goal right now for Crystal of Atlan as a beginner is really, really simple. Let's go over this. Let's go over it one more time. What you want to do is you want to clear out your adventures. You're going to start in the Valley Ruins. That's going to be your first chapter. Under District, your second chapter. Wonderland, your third. Colossal Woods, your fourth. Chrome Military Factory, your fifth. And Abyssal Purgatory, your sixth. You guys want to clear the story out and get yourself to endgame and leveled up as fast as possible, and then start working on the endgame content. But for the beginner's guide, it's really simple. You just work your way through the game. There's really not too many things complicated about it. Stay on top of your gear. Log in and grab your login bonuses every day. I cannot stress that enough. This is a mobile game. All right, take advantage of that. If y'all have any other beginner tips and tricks you want to leave down for people in the comments, feel free to share them below. If you got any tips for me, since I'm a newer player, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. Y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.
A whole lot better.